Ukrainian forces are systematically clearing Russia's border infiltrations in Kharkiv region, eliminating one assault group after another before they can establish meaningful footholds. Despite both armies suffering from manpower shortages, their two approaches to the fighting on the international border show how drastic the difference is. Russia's objective is to create so-called buffer zones along the border, pushing Ukrainian forces further away, stretching Ukrainian reserves, and bringing more Ukrainian territory within artillery range. Instead of launching major offensives, for which the Russians lack troops and equipment, Russian forces probe weak sections with groups often numbering just 2 to 5 soldiers. They move through forests, lightly defended roads and villages, sometimes even wearing civilian clothing, hoping to establish positions that can later receive reinforcements. This Russian tactic exploits an unavoidable problem, as Ukraine cannot physically defend every meter of its enormous northern border during wartime. Placing infantry along every forest, field, and crossing would consume huge numbers of soldiers that are needed elsewhere on the front. Russia therefore searches for gaps for infiltrators to move quickly, as a tiny penetration can theoretically force Ukraine to react and divert even more reserves from other hot areas on the front line. However, Russia suffers from the same resource shortage it is trying to exploit. Moscow lacks enough available manpower, armor, engineering equipment, and logistics to launch a high-intensity offensive across the Kharkiv border. Its small groups may enter territory, but they struggle to hold it because once detected, they have little firepower and no reinforcements. The Russian command is essentially hoping that Ukrainian forces will react slowly, but increasingly, their hopes are fruitless. The two sides have therefore approached their manpower limitations differently. Russia continues sending small groups through gaps at ineffective intensity. Ukraine, meanwhile, does not attempt to fill every gap with soldiers. Instead, reconnaissance drones continuously observe roads, forests, settlements, and border approaches. Once infiltrators are detected, FPV drones, bomber drones, artillery, and assault teams engage them, with Ukrainian quick response units ready to deploy across a much wider front, holding the entire border with far fewer men successfully. Ukraine has effectively replaced a continuous physical defensive line with a surveillance and strike network. As a result, even though Russia exploits empty space, Ukraine makes it an observable kill zone. The recent Russian infiltration attempts near Kozacha-Lopan demonstrated this approach clearly, as several Russian groups of 2 or 3 soldiers each crossed the border using the main road. Ukrainian drone surveillance located them almost immediately, after which assault troops from the Ukrainian Skala assault unit planned the clearing mission carefully and moved in toward the breach on ATV on the next day. Artillery first struck Russian hideouts before Ukrainian operators advanced on foot, clearing the survivors and pushing them directly back toward the border. Ukrainian reinforcements then secured the area, while octocopters and FPV drones subsequently attacked the Russian forces supporting the infiltration from inside Russia, destroying personnel, movement routes, rear positions, and an armored vehicle. The same pattern unfolded around to the east, near the settlements of Odradne and Milove, where Russian forces infiltrated along 3 vectors, attempting to establish positions and dig into the forests surrounding the settlements that could provide cover. They were spotted almost immediately, after which Ukrainian drones dropped grenades onto their positions. FPV drones attacked troops attempting to change positions, and Ukrainian assault teams advanced on foot to clear the fortified positions, tree lines, and strong points. One video shows Ukrainian soldiers pouring a flammable substance into a trench, setting the enemy on fire to flush them out of their hideout. Ukrainian units recaptured Odradne and nearby territory, with Russian forces reportedly losing 56 soldiers without achieving anything. At nearby Chuhunivka, 3 Russians attempted something even more symbolic by entering the settlement simply to film themselves waving a flag as proof of Russian control. It lasted only minutes, as Ukrainian forces captured them shortly afterward and published footage of their interrogation. Remarkably, Russian troops had attempted similar operations against these settlements 2 months earlier, and were immediately caught then as well. But their command refuses to learn.